All right, that was Dr. Quad. Yeah, I do think Madden 23 is pretty good so far. Claypool and Bush for Roquan. I don't want to include Claypool. I think we can have like one of the best receiving cores in the league.
Yeah. But would giving up Claypool to gain a Roquan, would that be worth it to you, knowing that you have a Deontay and a Pickens?
I wouldn't be thrilled
And a
about that.
Calvin?
I want to see what
and a
those three receivers look like
and
first.
A Boykin?
No, I want to see what those receivers look like
But
first.
what if you waste that because you have this big hole in the middle of your defense?
Just trade draft picks.
Okay.
Because, hold on, hear me out.
Because what if because you already said that you're planning on not re-signing Claypool in 2 years anyways, based
You
on
never
what
know.
Pickens is doing and what Deontay already having the new contract. So he's an asset that you already are anticipating moving, letting him go.
Yeah, that's the one way it could make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, could we still re-sign Claypool? I mean, I think we can still get him back.
Yeah, but I thought for me, it's just one of the things that I think they're going to try to re-sign him, and they should. I just think that the price that they're going to probably come at him with, knowing that they got a Deontay Johnson and knowing they got a George Pickens in the wings, is going to be a lot less than what Claypool is probably going to be deserving of. Very different in the context, like when we talked about Deontay, and it was like just based on the comps and based on, what the market is becoming, a lot of those guys are getting overpaid in certain elements. I don't think that Chase will be in a conversation where we're talking about overpaying him, but I think it's one of those things where if you're the Steelers and you're saying we got a Deontay who we just paid and we got a George Pickens, if he puts together a year like he's looking like he might be able to do, I think that changes a lot. I think that will really make Chase expendable in that element of it versus, you saying, hey, let's make a long-term deal with him while we already got a Deontay deal. And then before you know it, potentially a George Pickens deal will be coming up by then because now we're talking 2 years down that line.
Sure. So I'm with you on that. I would just rather have, for this season, Claypool and those receivers.
For sure.
Just give up the draft pick, give up the first rounder in Devin Bush, get Roquan so we could just have everybody. We could have just a loaded roster all around. And then Claypool, if we resign him or not, whatever. Maybe we don't have that first round pick anymore, but you see how good we are at drafting receivers in the second or third round.
Nah, I dig it. I could definitely dig it.
And I feel like we can, you're right, even work with a Calvin Austin next year if he emerges a little bit more and maybe not even have to worry about receiver. I just want to see the loaded roster. How do you feel if it was you?
I mean, yeah, of course you want to see the loaded roster. At the same time, it's not as just simple as give up Devin Bush in a first-round pick because we still got to pay Roquan as well. So that also is going to eliminate me being able to keep a Chase Claypool potentially. Maybe even somebody else.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. But you're right. It might be an extra person.
That's what I'm
it
saying.
Might be like Alex Highsmith or
I don't want to lose two of them
a second
dudes.
cornerback.
Yeah, but I feel like we definitely would lose two dudes because I don't think Chase is going to have the same type of money that we would be paying a Roquan, but it's like now I'm losing the draft pick, I'm paying Roquan, and I'm losing two key players. You know what I mean? Whether, like you said, it's a Highsmith that you don't re-sign, whether it's a Claypool as well that you don't re-sign. I don't want to put a Pat in there because he's still like younger. You know what I mean? So like time wise, it'd be a little bit different. But
nah, Pat's franchise. We got to keep him. Him and Najee staple. Him, Najee, Pickens, and Deontay for the short term. Definitely staples on the offense. So Roquan's the guy that we've been talking about a lot, and someone brought up last episode, are there any other linebackers out there? I just wanted to check to see on Deion Jones because he's going to be turning 28 here. Contract average salary, $14.25 per year.
Okay.
He only has this year and next year left on the deal, though. Falcons are probably going to suck.
You think they're going to suck?
Yeah.
Where they finish at last year?
And agent is Rosenhaus Sports. Maybe you can have an end. Maybe you can try to broker a deal.
Man, I ain't brokering no deals. I'm good.
I think that would make sense. You probably wouldn't even have to give up Devin Bush. I mean, you can, but like definitely a lesser of the picks. You could give up probably like a third-round pick and Devin Bush for Deion Jones, and that 14's only for 2 years. Whereas Roquan Smith is probably gonna be a 4 or 5 year deal.
5 year deal, yeah.
So that 2 years is a good window where we're still gonna have the cheap rookie deal at quarterback with Pickett. Maybe Deion Jones is the play.
Yeah, but is Deion Jones gonna be as impactful as Roquan though?
Probably not, but I'm just thinking if we don't do the Roquan deal, what are we left with at linebacker? If Devin Bush isn't performing well, like we should probably do something.
I see what you're saying, yeah. Because my thing is like, man, paying Deion Jones 14, is that gonna feel like when we was paying Joe Schobert 11 last year? think about people at the end of the last season. What did we say? Man, Schobert the better linebacker. We said, man, all things on the table, you should have kept Schobert. Or at least I know that was kind of my angle that I went with it. I know you went with the Devin Bush angle because of the youth and stuff like that and upside. But it's like, yeah, here we are kind of in that same situation. And that's one of the thing, like with a Deion Jones, is like, when we look at that the same exact way of, well, man, I mean, it's good play, but it ain't up to $14 million worth of play. And now we got this like different viewpoint of him.
What's his dead cap if we cut him next year? Let me see. It's actually not bad. His cap hit's terrible.
What's his cap hit?
18. That is terrible.
Ooh.
But if we cut him, the dead cap's only 5.
Huh. Or you can extend him. So 1 year rental.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like at least we could have him for this year. If things are going down the tubes at linebacker again.
Yeah, that'll give you some options.
Something to consider.
Yeah. Also, like I said, you got the wait approach. You're gonna get another nice little free agency push here in about 2 weeks when all these people get chopped up. And then, you might see something you like. Might be a cap casual out there. Might be somebody, money-wise or opportunity-wise. Absolutely.
Right, like Joe Hayden.
Yeah, absolutely. It happens, man. It happens every year. So that could be a scenario for him or for the team. And then from there, that be the guy you bring in. But either way, man, it's like I still feel like unless you're going to make this move now, is going to be a little bit rocky because you're talking about playing middle linebacker. That's like the quarterback of the defense. So unless this guy comes over here and he's like able to really immerse himself and catch on fast, you're going to have a dude not being able to play to his full potential because he's thinking too much. He's having to learn and process it, kind of what we saw with Schobert early on. So that's my only thing like with that. It's like, man, if we're going to do it, can we do it now? When did we do for Schobert? Wasn't it around this time?
Yeah.
It was definitely around this time.
I think it was after the first preseason game.
Yeah, you want to get, a couple weeks of him just getting, comfortable with his defense, man.
It happened literally during
it was like
one of the
around
preseason
this time,
games, like halftime.